Hi, my name is Zachary Reed. I'm going to be showing you my UFO project for CS 177. So we'll start in our Unity page right here. So we have a couple of layers in our hierarchy. To begin with, we have our background. This is going to be this gray square that we see right here. This is basically the ground, the canvas in which the player is going to move around in the game. And that moves us on to our next layer, which is the player. This is going to be this little UFO guy in the middle. This is what's going to be controlled by the user of the game. And next we'll move on to the pickups. So these are going to be these little yellow asteroid things. These are the collectibles that the player is going to move and pick up as they play the game. This is basically like the objective of the game, is to collect these. And then our canvas, we have a couple things in here. We have some text properties. So we have the count text, which is going to be this text up here in the top left corner. This is basically keeping score. And then the win text is going to show up at the end once all of these collectibles are collected, and it's going to show a you've won text. Next, we'll be looking at our code in Visual Studio. So first, we're going to look at the camera controller tab. This is showing how we coded the camera position. So we have the player position being subtracted from the camera position. That's giving the top-down view of the player, and also shows how the camera is going to follow the player when the player moves around. Next tab we're going to look at is the rotator tab. This is how we're coding the pickups, the little collectibles, the asteroids. So basically, I coded them to be rotating counterclockwise at 50 degrees per frame, and that's going to be along the z-axis right here. The last tab is going to be the player controller tab. So this is going to be defining how the player moves, how it interacts with its environment, its collisions, and things like that. So first of all, we have its movements. We have some vectors here. Vector 2. This is basically just defining how the player is being controlled. It's being controlled by inputs from the up, right, left, down keys on your keyboard. This collision tab shows how the player interacts with the pickups. So when it collides with the pickups, it's going to trigger a +1 on the count, on the set count text. That's basically showing up on the score up in the top left corner, and it increases by 1 every time you collect a pickup. And then once you collect the number of pickups, 8, which is number of items right here, it's going to display the text "you won." Okay, so here we have the game running. So basically you're going to be moving the UFO. It's being controlled by your arrow keys. So we're going to collect all of these pickups right here. As you can see, we just have a few more. That's the 7th one, and the last one, the 8th one. And once you collect all of them, it shows the message "you won."